Hi, you're listening to Childless and Moving Onward. This is the place where we talk about thriving in life when you're a woman who is childless, not by choice, regardless of the road that brought you to childlessness. Hi, and welcome to episode 27 of Childless and Moving Onward. I'm your host, Gail Miller. I'm a speaker, life coach, physician, and a woman who is childless by circumstance, not by choice. I am also a proud dog mom. So, for those of you who don't appreciate that, this may not be the right podcast for you because my dogs are very important to me. But they're not the topic of today's episode. Today, I'm going to dive into something that may be a little prickly. Not only the topic, but what I'm going to say about it. And that is pregnancy announcements. Are they wrong? Should we be upset by them? Should we be trying to stop them? Or is it time to reframe our perspective? And by that, I am not talking about, oh, just be positive. It's so much more complex and so much deeper than that. But let's get honest and practical. And it might get a little bumpy. There may be things that you don't want to hear that. Or maybe there's things that you hear that you're like, yeah, that really resonates. Okay, so I want you to picture something. You're scrolling through social media, minding your own business, and bam, another pregnancy announcement pops up. Or you get a text or a message in WhatsApp. It's a pregnancy announcement. Maybe it's a relative, maybe a coworker, a friend, or maybe it's not even somebody that you know directly. Maybe it's a pregnancy announcement for a friend of yours who's becoming a grandmother. So cue the confetti starts falling down, right? The ultrasound photos and all the hashtags, hashtag blessed and all that. For many of us, it's like a punch to the gut. It's as if you're walking into a surprise party that you weren't invited to, and it's awkward and slightly painful. Okay, maybe more than slightly. But here's the question, the $1 million question about this. Are these announcements actually wrong? So let's break down kind of what happens and what goes into this. The first is that emotional roller coaster. Because you feel a mix of emotions, and that's okay. Joy for whoever it is, sadness for yourself, maybe even a little dash of envy thrown in. Maybe you're struggling to feel joy for that person. It's all valid. Remember, you are not a bad person for having feelings. You are a human having perfectly valid human feelings. The second, here's the reality. For most people, they're not posting these announcements to hurt someone else. They're excited about a big life change. It's like the excitement when somebody posts about their dream job. Great for them. Sucks for us if we don't like our jobs, if we're job hunting. Now, granted, it's not an announcement with the same celebration that's given to a pregnancy announcement or an engagement announcement. And I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. But most of these announcements are celebrations about a life milestone. It's not done to hurt someone else. The third is that social media is like this endless highlight reel of everybody else's lives. It's so easy to forget that behind every perfect appearing announcement photo is probably someone who has thrown up at least twice that day, just that morning. Now, you may be saying, well, that's her problem. And it's perfectly valid for you to feel that way, to be hurting, to be angry, envious, and yes, even feel a total lack of empathy. But just know that those perfectly edited posts don't mean life is actually perfect. I mean, most of social media is about perfectly curated posts when life is anything but perfectly curated. And again, I'm not comparing the pain of the discomforts and risks in pregnancy with the pain of unwanted childlessness. The point is, life isn't perfect for anyone. The fourth, instead of seeing these announcements as a reminder of what we don't have, can we work to reframe them? Maybe they're celebrating, a new life of hope, of the amazing things that a human body can do, even if our bodies chose a different path, or if our path didn't include seeing if our body could do what everybody says it's supposed to do. So think of it this way. Every pregnancy announcement is just another reminder that life is unpredictable and sometimes messy, sometimes painfully messy. And sometimes that mess is the tangle of emotions you are feeling. It may be a mess, but that doesn't make those feelings any less valid. The fifth is to remember it's okay to take care of yourself. And one of those ways is to mute, to unfollow, to unfriend, or take a social media break if it's too much. Your mental health matters. It matters more than being up to date on the status of everybody else's uterus. And it matters more than you showing to your friends that you're up to date, right? You don't have to see their posts so you can like them or comment so that they know you care. Take care of yourself. Scroll by, unfollow. Don't open social media. And if you need an excuse to take a break from it, just tell everybody, hey, I'm on a digital detox. I mean, no one really argues with that. And, they'll have an image of the stereotype of a woman who's childless, the ones where we have endless free time, right? We have no other responsibilities since we don't have kids. You must not have any responsibilities, right? So they're going to probably think you're off meditating in Bali when maybe you're really binge watching reality TV in your pajamas. And if so, go you, enjoy. So let's be real for a second here. Are pregnancy announcements wrong? No, they're not. Are your feelings about them wrong? No, they are absolutely valid. But the other part of this is what I brought up earlier. And that is the degree to which we celebrate only baby announcements and engagement announcements. Too often, the only things celebrated about women are getting married and getting pregnant. And that's where I see the problem. Not that people shouldn't get to celebrate those milestones in life, but why are other accomplishments not celebrated with the same fanfare? Why is a promotion not celebrated that way? Or the dream job? I mean, you may get some likes and some congratulations, but the celebration is definitely not the same as if you were to make a engagement or baby announcement, pregnancy announcement. Why is trekking through the Appalachian Trail not an equally valid celebration, or rescuing an animal, and on and on? Why are the only situations that are 100% celebrated for women and with like full-on celebrations? Why is it only marriage and having a child? What is it about women that makes anything other than this less than? The last time I checked, women were capable of a whole lot more than just being a wife and a mother. But here's the kicker. Women are out there crushing it in so many ways, but society seems to have a one-track mind when it comes to celebrations of women. It's like we're stuck in a 1950s sitcom where the only plot lines for women are, will she find a husband? Or when will she have a baby? Again, don't get me wrong, marriage and motherhood are amazing. But let's spread some of that celebratory love around, right? Got a new job? Let's pop some champagne. Started your own business? I'll bring the party hats. Finally mastered the art of parallel parking. Hey, that deserves a parade too. It's high time we celebrated women for all of their accomplishments, big and small, because women are complex, multifaceted individuals who deserve recognition for all of our achievements. But let's be clear here. Achievements are achievements. There's no size that is right or wrong. There's no, it has to be this or it's not an achievement. You don't have to build an animal sanctuary to be celebrated. You rescued an animal. You caught that dog that was on the loose. You baked something to bring into work or something to feed yourself. Achievements don't have to be these grand scheme things. Stop looking at it as if there's a measure to what is considered an achievement. So the next time your friend tells you she's learned to speak a new language, or she's run a marathon, or hey, she successfully assembled IKEA furniture without having a meltdown, or she had a meltdown, but she assembled it. Celebrate her just as people would if she announced she was expecting twins. Because every accomplishment deserves its moment in the spotlight, not just the ones that involve white dresses or baby booties. Remember, you are more than your marital status. You are more than what your uterus can do or can't do. You are a whole person with dreams, ambitions, and achievements that deserve to be celebrated. So the next time you see a pregnancy announcement, try this. Acknowledge your feelings, all of them. And for someone who is a pizza lover, I'm going to use pizza as an example. Feelings are like pizza toppings. Sometimes they come together and are delicious in unexpected ways. All of your feelings, when they come together, make you a unique, valued human being. The second thing to do is take a deep breath. Inhale the positivity and exhale the pain, the negativity. I'm not talking about, just look at the positive. It's recognizing the positive that is there along with the pain. Life comes with good and bad. But if we only focus solely on the bad, we can't heal from this pain. Now, healing doesn't mean the pain goes away, but you can't move on with your life and live one that feels fulfilling. The third is remember that your worth isn't tied to your ability to have a child. Your value isn't tied to your ability to reproduce. It's tied to your fabulousness. And start recognizing that, yes, you are fabulous. Don't internalize society's messages that tell you otherwise. The fourth is when that pregnancy announcement hits, or maybe sometime after. If you feel up to it, congratulate your friend. If you don't, that's okay too. Those feelings are valid. When you feel ready, if you can't text them directly, comment directly, send them through your mind a virtual high five from a distance. The fifth, but not the least important, is do something nice for yourself. Maybe eat that chocolate bar you've been saving, or treat yourself to something special because you deserve it. At the end of the day, remember this, 2 parts to this. The first is everything, every accomplishment, no matter the size, stop sizing them. Okay? Every accomplishment is worth celebrating. Not just having a child. The second part of this is you are so much more than your ability to have children or the fact that you don't. Life is full of twists and turns, and sometimes they're good, and unfortunately, sometimes they're bad. That's what life is, a mix of the good and bad. And while pregnancy announcements can sting, or more than sting, maybe they feel like a punch in the gut or a knife to your heart, they don't define our journey or our worth. All right, that's all for today's episode, and I will be back with you next week. Thanks for listening to Childless and Moving Onward. I hope this episode was helpful to you. If you liked what you heard, you can get more help from me with my guide, Steps to Overcome Self-Doubt and Feel Worthy When Being Childless Isn't by Choice. Click on the link in the episode notes, or you can find it on my website, pathonward.com. Until next week, thanks again for listening.